As the morning sun rises, the Vietnamese army begins hunting for the intruders. Rambo, POW, and the rescued soldier Banks move swiftly through the thick jungle. But their escape doesn't go unnoticed. Vietnamese soldiers close in from all sides. Suddenly gunshots ring out. Bullets tear through the trees. Rambo orders POW and Banks to run while he provides cover. With his bow and arrows, he strikes down soldiers silently one by one. But soon, the enemies outnumber him. Just as they're about to be captured, the pirates who had helped Rambo earlier betray him. Greedy for reward money, they hand him and Banks over to the Vietnamese soldiers. POW manages to escape into the forest. Rambo and Banks are dragged back to the prison camp, this time as prisoners. Rambo is shackled, beaten, and tortured. The guards tie him to an electric shock machine and electrocute him. He endures it without crying out. Suddenly, a group of Russian officers enters the camp. One of them is Lieutenant Colonel Podovsky, a cruel Soviet commander working with the Vietnamese. He orders his assistant, Sergeant Yushin, to extract information from Rambo. Podovsky wants to know who sent him, how many more Americans are coming, and where they plan to attack. Despite the torture, Rambo refuses to talk. To break his spirit, the Russians bring in Banks and threaten to kill him if Rambo doesn't cooperate. Still, Rambo remains silent. Finally, they force him to make a radio call to headquarters, hoping he'll beg for extraction and admit to spying. Rambo speaks into the radio and surprises everyone by shouting, "Murdoch, I'm coming for you." Back at the operations center, Murdoch panics. He realizes Rambo is alive, captured, and aware of the betrayal. Fearing exposure, he orders the satellite feed and all communications to be shut down. He denies Troutman's request to send a rescue team. Rambo has become a liability. Troutman is furious. He accuses Murdoch of abandoning American soldiers just to protect his political image. Murdoch pretends to care, but his only goal is to avoid public scandal. Troutman warns him, "If you don't bring back Rambo, you'd better plan to die trying." Back in the jungle, POW tracks down the prison camp. She disguises herself as a peasant woman and sneaks into the guard post. By nightfall, she reaches the prison hut and secretly unties Rambo. As the guards sleep, Rambo retrieves his gear and knife and escapes with POW into the jungle. Once safely hidden, POW asks Rambo to take her to America. She wants a better life. For the first time, Rambo softens and agrees. As they prepare to move on, they are ambushed by Vietnamese soldiers. Rambo survives the attack, but POW is killed. Holding her lifeless body, Rambo screams in rage. Her lucky necklace falls into his hand. That moment awakens something dark in him. Now it's not just about rescue, but revenge. He straps on his weapons, paints his face with mud, and becomes the hunter. One by one, he takes out entire enemy patrols. Using stealth, arrows, and traps, he brings destruction to the Vietnamese and Soviet soldiers alike. Explosions rock the jungle. Rambo rescues the remaining American POWs, who are barely conscious but still alive. He places them on a stolen Soviet helicopter and lifts off. But just as they breathe a sigh of relief, a Russian gunship appears in the sky and opens fire. The enemy helicopter is larger and more heavily armed. Rambo's chopper takes heavy hits and begins to lose altitude. At the last moment, he crashes it into a river and hides the POWs. The Russian chopper hovers overhead, searching for wreckage. Rambo emerges from underwater with a rocket launcher, takes aim, and fires. The missile strikes the Russian chopper, destroying it in a massive explosion. The POWs cheer. Rambo retrieves the helicopter and flies back toward the base. Back at the U.S. Operations Center, Troutman hears the incoming helicopter. Soldiers rush to the landing pad. When the doors open, everyone is stunned. Rambo steps out, alive, with a group of rescued American prisoners. Murdoch is shocked. His lie has been exposed. Rambo walks straight into the operations room, furious. He throws one prisoner's dog tags on Murdoch's desk and shouts, "You know there are more out there, and you did nothing." Murdoch tries to explain, but Rambo grabs him by the collar and warns, Don't ever forget the ones you left behind. He turns to Troutman and says, "Mission accomplished." Outside the base, the sun rises. Troutman thanks Rambo for everything he's done. He offers him a chance to return to the army, but Rambo refuses. He says, "I want what every soldier wants, for our country to love us as much as we love it." With those words, Rambo walks off into the jungle alone, carrying Kobau's necklace, forever scarred by war, betrayal, and loss, but still a symbol of strength and resilience.